Hey, hi. Hello, friends, family, soul family. Hello, my loves. How are you guys doing today? How are you feeling? Man, we have a lot to talk about. So first off, I apologize if there is any auditory issues. This is a new skill for me, so bear with me. And also, this is going to be a very shaky video, if you haven't noticed already. I don't have that rod thing that people use as stabilizer, so we're starting with the bare minimum. That's the best way to do it, right? Oof. Crossing the street. Look both ways, kids. All right, so hi, how you doing? I want to record this as raw as possible, so I'm sorry, I'm just in a state of overwhelm. Number one, in all of the years of my life, I never thought that I would be in front of a camera and talk to the world, pretty much, to you guys. I just thought I would always be in the background, unnoticeable, invincible, and then just make a living off of that. But as we see now, the universe, the divine, has other plans. Yes. I just got off of work. After my shift, I like to take a really good walk. And then today, I decided to take you guys with me. So here we are. This is my neighborhood. It took some trials and tribulations and a crap ton of patience. But I am blessed and I'm grateful that I'm able to live in the heart of my city. And it's pretty amazing. It's not perfect, but pretty much everything I want or need is within walking distance. And if I want a little bit more of whatever, well, I'm going to have to find a way to get a car. That will come in time. Patience. But again, I've yapped on for too long. Let's get to the point of this video. So hello. And yeah, I'm probably gonna have another part of this, but it's okay. Well, anyway, before we get to the nitty-gritty of this video, I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, I love you. Seriously, I love every single one of you. 111, 1111. I love you guys so much from the top and bottom of my being. I love you guys so much, and also thank you so much, because little or more than you know, you guys felt my energy for the past 6 years. You guys were the one who gave me the motivation to be able to grab the bravery to do this. Yeah, it took like 5-6 years, but I'm here. I'm doing what you guys asked me to do. And so for those who are already out living their life purpose, posting them videos, rather it be like me taking a walk, just sitting in front of a camera, sitting in the car, whipping out them cards, channeling, talking through the divine above and below and around us. I don't know what all of you guys are going through, and if you guys feel a little discouraged or something like that, I say this with all of the gratefulness and honesty in my heart. Keep going. Don't stop. And of course, none of us is perfect, and we all need like our breaks and stuff like that. And of course, do that. But for the collective, like myself, who are still hesitating, who's still second guessing themselves, we need your encouragement, because what we are here to do, it's no easy feat, and it takes a lot of bravery, especially where I want to go on this channel. There's going to be a lot of lessons we will learn together, a lot of stories we're going to share, and it's going to ruffle some feathers. It's going to make some people upset, crossing the street again. And it's not to go out and hurt anybody, harm none, do without will. But lessons were learned, and not everybody are good people, but they helped us learn and help us progress in our journey. That's just how it is. So, with that being said, welcome to this channel. It's called Being Witchy. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Learning how to live the life of the witch. Every day, all day, the good, bad, and ugly. And it's gonna be awesome, and I feel like together we're gonna make it happen. So let's see. I've been on the witchcraft journey for 25 years now. I started in 2000, so it's very easy to count. But yeah, I was at the lowest point of my life. I didn't know who I was, what I wanted. Because of certain degrees of abuse, I just didn't want to exist. But every day, my eyes kept opening and I had to keep going. And then I stumbled upon the library, found the book that would change my life. We'll talk about that later, of course. And because it was in the beginning of my adolescence when I started this path, I don't know about you guys, I'm a millennial. And so from day one, I was always taught when you're a teenager, you really should take yourself seriously because everything you're doing is just some stupid rebellious phase. I'm going to tell you right now, the person who I am right now, I was the same person I was as a child. Same person as I was when I was a teenager crossing the street again. It's just that now with the self-awareness and self-certainty, I'm able to be the person who I truly am inside what I'm destined to be, sorry. So, and then, however, at that time, I didn't have anyone to back me up. And so even though I still pursued the path, I was always afraid that it was just a rebellious phase. It was a gothic phase or some kind of wannabe phase. But I noticed it resonated something in my heart and I just never let it go. And there were times, because here's the thing, with this path, it's never just linear. There's times you're going to fall off, fall back on. There's going to be times where you're going to have to take a break. But the thing is that as long as when the time comes you get back in the path and you pursue it, it'll be worth it. And that's just how it is. So with that being said, I started the path. I was insecure. I was ready for that phase to go away. Never went away. Next thing I know, I'm in my mid to late 20s. And I went through some profound transformations. I met someone who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And I'm not kidding you, he put me through it. So dragging me, metaphorically, kicking and screaming, he pretty much helped me purge a lot of darkness that was in my heart and things that helped me back. But also at the same time, he kept himself like just pulling me down, putting me down. And I didn't realize it, but there was a barrier that I pulled between my heart and my mind and who I really was. I see a Tesla. And when he kept like pulling me and bringing me down, that barrier that was between my heart and my mind just kept getting more and more fragile. So one night he said the wrong thing. The wrong thing. Something you do not say to someone who's in their 30s, and something you do not say to a woman of color. And something snapped within me. That wall, that barrier I built, I tried so hard to build, freaking shattered. Next thing I know, my true self came forward. He learned his lesson, not really. And through that, I went through a series of crazy life events. So we have the Great Betrayal, which led to an ego death, a shadow integration, a spiritual reawakening, dark night of the soul, and then it's what I call like the aftermath, where everything's quiet, all the karmic things, the good, the bad, the ugly, the WTF happen, and then there was this moment where it was just as quiet. And again, sorry about the noise if you hear in front of a whole bunch of cars. I'm in the city. But I quickly learned who I was, what I wanted, and the things I didn't tolerate. Now, before this happened, I was the biggest ass kisser, the biggest people pleaser you would ever meet. And I was groomed from childhood from my family that I was a worthless piece of crap. And in order to prove my worth, I basically had to kneel or kowtow and just pick up the scraps, whatever they leave me. And so with that being said, I invited anybody and everybody in my life. All of them were great lessons, but again, very hurt, toxic people, and I just let them run through me. Well, after enough hurts, we hope that you eventually learn, and then you begin to figure out what you want, what you don't want, set up some boundaries, learn discernment, all that good jazz. And yeah. So anyway, my personality just went a huge 180. The cute little happy dappy girl who would put up with anything and everything just for you to pay attention to her, ooh, she's gone. And now it's like this true raw version of me, which has always been here. It's just that she was buried deep inside, because it makes people uncomfortable, it makes people upset, and nobody wants to get yelled at for being a bad person. Sorry, my guy. Karma's real. But anyway, sorry if you hear the wind. So after that phase, I hope you can still hear me, where I kind of got a test run with my new personality, what I put up with and what I didn't. It was interesting. And here's the thing, once you go into the path of authenticity to learn who you are, what you want, and your boundaries and all that kind of stuff, it's not like a part-time thing. It's a full-time thing. So anything that doesn't resonate with you, eventually, it's going to leave your life, rather subtly or a big clap, a big tower moment. That's an abrupt change that comes out of nowhere. If you guys aren't familiar with the tarot cards. So yeah. So within the last 5-6 years, all those life things, the dark night of the soul, the shadow integration, all that stuff, that happened the past like 5-6 years. And then I just kept asking the same question. Okay, now what? I didn't know what to do. I don't got no guidance. There's barely anyone in my life. And then that is when I met you guys. It was crazy because right after me and my partner at the time, after we parted ways, some weird stuff started happening besides those life phases. This is going to sound a little cray-cray, a little woo-woo, but it is what it is. It wasn't like I had, actually no, it was. To me, it was either strange dreams or legit visions. I literally felt like I went to a different plane of existence. Like, running across the street again. There's a lot of bird poop around here. City life, kids. But anyway, I had these visions, these weird dreams where I felt like I was either in a different plane of existence, a different dimension. I don't know. These things don't come with a manual. And it literally felt like I was in a virtual reality. And a lot of it, I don't remember what happened, because that's what happens when you dream about certain things, and or you have certain visions, or you go to a different, or when you jump to a different dimension or whatever the heck. Sometimes when you come back, you don't remember anything or you remember fragments. And it does not feel like a dream. And within that moment, those moments where I was not in the 3D realm, I was, let's just say, I was me who I was. Okay, so yeah, this was 5-6 years ago. So I was my current self, but it was the past self, me 5 years ago, who was seeing this. And I swear to God, I fell in love with myself, my present self / future self at that time. This woman was funny, she was vibrant, she was bold, she was unapologetically her. She was everything I've always wanted to be, who I thought I could never be. Because I was dumb, stupid, useless, according to certain people. And then she would be having these conversations with these individuals who I come to believe in my heart, it was you guys. And we would just talk about things. And one thing I remember in one of our conversations is, so I'm going to do this, and this is how you're going to recognize me. I'm going to say this or that, and this is how you're going to recognize me. And I would wake up and I'm like, holy cow. And then It was like a teaser trailer. I felt like I saw the people who were going to be in my future. We were having a previous conversation way before we meet. And I love those moments. And if I could, I would have lived that moment for all eternity. But that's not good, because that means you left your 3D self. And your 3D self is malnourished. It's abandoned. It's going to die. Your vessel's going to die. I mean, come on. And even though I lived in those moments, of course, if you keep living those moments, you're not going to get out of your bed. So, boom, just when it started, it stopped it. The visions, those weird dreams, all that gone. I took it as a sign to get off my hiney and start making this vision happen. But here's the thing, what was the vision? So I'm still trying to figure out who I am, what I want. How am I going to bring it to the 3D? How am I going to deal with this new version of myself? And then I listened to a podcast, and it said something that first made me very angry, but then all the pieces came together. I was still scared. And then I saw my first pick-a-card reading, and it pretty much told me that I was meant to be here to tell a story. I'm like, for 1 second, I was like, what? But then quickly looking back at my life, I've been through it, guys. My life is no happy-dappy cookie-cutter thing. I mean, when you meet me in person, I'm all like cheerful and stuff like that. But if you were to hear from all the decades of my life and how I lived it, your jaw would drop. You wouldn't even clutch them pearls. You would break them. They would be shattered everywhere. And so I feel, despite my experience, I want to share my life story with you guys and then some. Because I feel like I'm passing this Mediterranean restaurant. It smells so good. This is how they get you in. You have to wait for my paycheck after the next one, so I got to get my finances in order. But, excuse me. I want to share those experiences with you guys. It's going to be difficult. It's going to ruffle some feathers, but it's life, and not everybody are good people. But they do come with lessons, we hope. And so I got this idea in my head. Why don't I start a YouTube channel? Okay, that's great and all. But how are we going to make this happen? What am I even going to talk about? And it took trials, tribulations, having a conversation with this person, that person, learning how to keep my mouth shut and keep things to myself. And one thing I really wanted to do was to not only tell my life story, and hopefully someone is inspired by it, but I've come across a couple of people where they were interested in the ways of the craft, but they didn't know where to start. And me, after my spiritual reawakening, I spent years not doing anything, no rituals, no spells, nothing, just intense shadow work. And so I want to get back to where I want to live my dream life, where I'm living that witch life, you know? But we can't just like go start where I left off. I can't remember how to do this and this, nada nada. So I had this idea where I start a YouTube channel, and I start as if I just started from the beginning of my journey, and I want to take you guys on there with me. And so I would say the first month or two of my content, I welcome the beginner witchers, the baby witches, those who don't know where to start, you know, start with me. And then we'll go from there. And I want to make it a mishmash of things. I want to do study with me videos primarily. I sit in front of the camera like now, not in a shaky camera, of course, and talk about things. I want to do vlogs. Right now, I want to focus just on like the holidays, whether it be the moon festivals or the solar festivals, the Esbats and Sabbats. And just go from there and see how this channel grows. I'm really passionate about this project, and I really want to do it. And there was recently, in mid-March, there was a crazy tower moment, a crazy abrupt change that came out of nowhere. And so it just opened up this avenue of my life where it went from me not having enough time to do anything except for work to where I have all this time and space. And I took it as a sign. And so I want to utilize that gift, because you don't get it every day. There's so many people who wish they did this or that, but they made other things priorities, and then at the end of their life, they sit in a thing of regret. And me, I'm one of those people where I want few regrets as possible. I mean, regrets are inevitable, but I want them at the all-time low. And so, yeah, I'm just so happy that through your guys' love and perseverance and patience, that I finally was able to get the opportunity to pursue what I believe is my calling. And hopefully it inspires others who are on the same path as me to pursue their desires, so they can inspire other people and make this place a better place. Because right now, how things are going, I am scared, I'm disappointed, I'm in a moment of great uncertainty, but can't hide now. This is the worst time to hide, unless it's a zombie apocalypse. So, but it's not a zombie apocalypse. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being in this video with me, watching it. And so right now, hopefully I'm going to post it on the same day. That's my intention. And then the next video is going to be a PowerPoint presentation where it's going to basically say, so you want to be a witch? Well, let's get started. And in my field of study, I started off as a book witch. A lot of my information and education came from books. So as of right now, it's going to be mostly centered towards book witch stuff. Lots of reading, lots of writing, lots of self-reflection. And yeah, so that's going to be that PowerPoint presentation. That video is actually kind of near and dear to my heart because it's a collaboration of my past self of 2021 with my current self of 2026. It was very interesting trying to get back into that old head of mine all those years ago. But the video's done, and hopefully I'll post it the next day after this video, depending on how long it's going to take to upload. And then come Monday, which is either May 25th or 26th, I don't have my calendar in front of me right now, we're going to start our first class. Excuse me. So with the PowerPoint presentation, it may or may not it may or may not be confusing. So my plan is I'm going to start off with 4 books. One is going to be Green Witchcraft 101. Another one's going to be Intro of Self-Care for the Witch. The other one is going to be Everyday Witchcraft, how to put everyday witch habits and rituals in your everyday life. And I'm curious what this thing called a house witch before, because when I started witchcraft, there was no such thing as a house witch. So I want to learn about that. And these classes, it's going to be 1 chapter a day, once a week. So my plan is Green Witchcraft on Monday, Self-Care on Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be the Everyday Witchcraft. And then the 4th book on Thursday is going to be the House Witch. And then I'm going to do what I like to call face-to-face Fridays. That's when I get in front of the camera and we talk about a subject on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I use that for rest and editing and finding a way to scheduling a post time for each video. And then, yeah. And so right now, the maximum weeks of study is going to be 11 weeks. And then after that, we're going to finish up that good semester. Then I probably will take a break. Still post videos, of course, but study-wise, take a break. And then I wanted the semesters to go according to the academic year that's based in the university, fall, spring, winter, summer semesters. Again, that'll be in more detail on the presentation. And then, so once I get all that in order, it's going to take a minute. I want to study as if like I'm at the university or something like that. And then we'll see where we go from there. But again, hopefully that will clarify a little bit my presentation, because when I went back at it, I'm like, I think I understand what I'm saying. But yeah. So yeah, 1 chapter a day, once a week, 4 different chapters in 4 days, yada yada. And then yeah. Anyway, I have taken enough of your time. and it is cold out here. It went from being 70 to 50. Wisconsin weather, kids. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for listening to this video. Thank you for being or choosing to be part of this journey. I hope we have so much fun together and we learn things together. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side. So yeah, have a great morning, evening, day, whenever you're watching this. And until next time, love you very much. Thank you so much and take care. Much love.